The Duffer Brothers clearly know something we don't, because they just won't stop teasing us about this one thing. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another Stranger Things update video. So as we all know, Season 5 filming is rapidly approaching. I just put out a video talking about how they're starting filming on January 8th or January 5th, so we're only a few weeks away from them finally starting to film this final season of the show we all love. But on Ross Duffer's Instagram story yesterday, he posted two photos that were very teasing and potentially revealing of something big that could be happening in Season 5. So I gotta talk about it and all the theories and speculations I have based on these two photos. Before I dive into this, be sure to hit that like button. It helps out more than you guys know, it really does. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to help reach my goal of 100,000 subscribers here on the channel. I'll be having tons of Stranger Things content as we approach the new year and all throughout next year. And I talk movies and shows other than just Stranger Things, so go show some love to that content as well. And it would make my day if you guys go check out the Unusual Couple podcast for weekly episodes with myself and my girlfriend Cam. A new episode dropped today. We always have fun with it. Let's just get down to business. Alright, so Stranger Things Season 5 filming is starting up soon, and Ross Duffer, as well as a lot of the other Stranger Things cast and crew, have been in Atlanta, Georgia recently, where the show predominantly films. And yesterday, he posted on his Instagram story this picture saying, "Goodbye, ATL," with an 18-wheeler in the background, but this sign is the meat of this post. There's two arrows pointing to Hellfire Way, which obviously is code for production of the show. They have signs around to let people know where set is. It says 0.16 miles. That's irrelevant. The real meat of this sign are these two QR codes, one for Apple Music, one for Spotify. I myself am a Spotify user. Let me know which one you prefer down below. If you go scan either of these codes, where do you think it's going to take you? Take a shot in the dark here. It's taking you to a very popular song from Stranger Things Season 4 from a very pivotal moment featuring a character who may or may not be with us anymore. Take a look.
Chrissy, this is from you.
That's right, if you scan this QR code, it takes you to Master of Puppets on the Season 4 soundtrack, which we all know is the song Eddie Munson plays to distract the Demobats in the Upside Down. It's one of the most badass moments, not only in Season 4, but in my opinion, in the entire show, and it's also just Eddie's moment to shine. So yet again, we have the Duffer Brothers posting some weird cryptic thing regarding Eddie Munson, a character who we presume to be dead at the end of Season 4, but in this show, no one's ever really gone. Look at Hopper at the end of Season 3, look at 11 at the end of Season 1. After bringing back Hopper, they can bring back any character they so desire. So could Eddie Munson be alive? Could this be teasing his return? This isn't the first time they've teased Eddie. If you go through their Twitter, there's so many mentions of them talking about Eddie. They've posted behind the scenes pictures of Joseph Quinn in the role. They even teased that Chapter 2 is called Kaz the Bloody-Handed, because one of the most popular fan theories for Eddie's return is that he's Kaz the Bloody-Handed, who's this vampire that would be Vecna's right-hand man in a way. Now, the issue I take with this is it would be an evil Eddie Munson, and I don't want that to taint the character and the legacy of Eddie, because he was just such a good-hearted person who ended up sacrificing himself, ended up being a hero. You know, the whole season he's like, I'm no hero, and then he ends up making that sacrifice play. Was it unnecessary? A little bit, but it was a beautiful moment for him, and he had this great arc over the course of Season 4. So I'm fine with him resting in peace, but at the same time, I wouldn't be opposed to him coming back, and I think there's a lot of proof as to why. The next Instagram story, though, is the real kicker. The next story that he posted says, "See you after the holidays," and it is the Chapter 1 The Crawl cast list. This is the first episode of Season 5, and if you look at all the names, one of them is blacked out. So starting at the top, we've got Joyce and Hopper, Mike and Nancy, Jonathan, Eleven, Lucas, Dustin, Will, Karen Wheeler, Steve Harrington, a blacked out name, then we've got Robin and Murray. First of all, I like that Murray's on this list because at the end of Season 4, after the storyline in Russia is concluded, we don't see him again in sort of the epilogue of the season when all of our main characters congregate on that hillside and the epic music plays. We don't see Murray, so it'd be cool to see him again. Now, initially when I saw this, my mind went to, okay, what if it's Eddie Munson? They had the cryptic post with the Hellfire Way sign and the Master of Puppets music, and the next story just so happens to be a blacked out name, and it's in the group of Steve and Robin. That's where Eddie would fall because he was grouped with those characters throughout most of Season 4, especially in Volume 2. But then I sat back and went, this is probably just the Duffer Brothers tugging our chain. This is the Duffer Brothers leading us on. They love to do that on Twitter. The Stranger Things writers Twitter account trolls us all the time. It's nothing new. And so I was like, it's probably too good to be true. Then you have to take a step back and wonder, there are some other notable characters from Stranger Things missing from this cast list. Perhaps the biggest character absence on this list of a character who's still seemingly alive is Max Mayfield, who last we saw was essentially bedridden in a coma in the hospital. Lucas and Erica were by her side. We don't know the fate of Max. I think this could definitely be her, because grouping her with Steve and Robin would feel appropriate, but at the same time, I also feel like Max would be grouped with the other main kids almost near Lucas and Dustin. So having her that low with the other characters seems a little weird, but you never know. Erica's name is also not on this list, so that could be referring to her. For all we know, this could even be Vecna though. So the possibilities are endless here, and this is a classic troll job by the Duffer Brothers, but it really does have me thinking that this is Eddie Munson, and that's going to be sort of their mic drop moment at the end of the first episode. I know I've gone up and down, and the whole fandom kind of has gone through these different waves of the grieving process, being like, oh no, Eddie's for sure coming back. He's for sure gone. We gotta let it go. And I kind of wake up one day and feel a certain way about Eddie's fate, and I wake up another, I'm like, I don't know, he might be back. It's hard to say, and when they drop stuff like this and tease his return, it gets me excited, probably falsely because it's really unlikely he comes back, but at the same time I'm like, you never know, anything's possible. Hopper was gone and dead and they brought him back. But there is one other possibility here. This could be a new character that none of us know. In terms of casting news, we do know that Linda Hamilton is playing an undisclosed role in this final season. My bet has been that she's been some sort of military presence and will be some sort of general in the fight against the Upside Down, but honestly I don't think she would warrant being on this cast list with all these other main stars, so I really don't know what this means. Look, if there were betting odds, I think the betting favorite for who this blacked out name would be is likely Max, because she's an important character who's still alive, and they wouldn't want to spoil her fate either because they sort of left it up in the air at the end of season 4, but it would make sense for her to be on this. I don't think Erica would get a spot on here. Vecna would probably be grouped in another part of the cast list, but look, all signs are pointing to this potentially being Eddie Munson. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I have the perfect pitch with how they need to announce Eddie Munson being in this final season. Obviously, this would be a huge surprise, and it'd be something you would hope they would save for the show, but you have to realize, if Eddie is returning, there is an inevitable set pick that will leak and spoil all the fun. So much like how Deadpool 3 got out ahead of everything and just had a video announcement with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman saying, hey look, Wolverine's coming back. They got ahead of everything, and smartly so. I think that's what Stranger Things should do if Eddie Munson is in fact returning. And I think they could go the route of the From Russia with Love teaser they did for season 4, where they just full on announced Hopper's return. Because at the end of season 3, Hopper dies, and then there's a post-credit scene where we're in a Russian prison, and some guards are talking, and then they're like, not the American. And then this other dude goes and fights a Demogorgon, and so the not the American line pretty much signified to us, okay, Hopper's not dead, he's just in a Russian prison. Obviously that was the case, and then a few months later, I believe in February of 2020, which was less than a year after season 3 dropped, we got this From Russia with Love teaser that was all snowy and it zoomed in. Some prisoners were working on this train track in the snow, and then it revealed Hopper, telling us Hopper is full on back in season 4. It got the hype train going for sure, and then obviously COVID shut down production, which was a huge bummer, but look, it let us know Hopper was coming back, and it got us even more excited. So if Stranger Things marketing really wants to break the internet and get ahead of the inevitable spoilers that would get out from set picks, I think they should just go the route of dropping a 1-minute long teaser. I've talked about this on the podcast with Cam, I've talked about this with friends, where it's just the camera roaming through the Upside Down, and then it sort of cuts to black, and we see Eddie wake up, and he's alive, and then boom, Stranger Things season 5 coming 2025 or whatever year the show ends up coming out. That would just be a great way to generate buzz and hype and get everyone back on the Stranger Things train, especially as filming is gearing up. So this is a shot in the dark. I'm sure they're just, like I've said, teasing us. And this blacked out name could be Ted Wheeler for all I know.
Take us for all we're worth.
Okay.
But if it is in fact Eddie Munson, I think it would just be smart to get in front of this and announce Joseph Quinn's return, especially because of how huge of a star Joseph Quinn has become since Stranger Things 4's release. I went to Fan Expo Dallas and met him there briefly, got a picture with him, my girlfriend Cam met him a few more times, and the line was the longest by far. They're huge fans of Joseph Quinn. Announcing his return would just be huge for the show. Stranger Things has already built its brand up to be the biggest in Netflix history, but announcing the return of Eddie Munson would just get everyone so excited. So look, at the end of the day, these two posts from Ross Dever's Instagram story are probably just teasing us because they've been doing it ever since season 4 came out. It's very sick and twisted of them in my opinion because Eddie's dead, damn it, and if he actually is dead, you're just using him for clicks. But at the same time, it's working because I've been talking about it and we've all been generating this discussion about it. So if he is coming back, it's smart either way. It's a win-win for the Duffer Brothers. Who do you think this blacked out name is? Let me know in the comments down below and be sure to hit that like button. That'll do it for this quick update video. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified for all future Stranger Things news, movie reviews, TV reviews, all that stuff. And go show some support to the Unusual Couple podcast for weekly episodes with myself and my girlfriend Cam. We have a total blast with it every week. We get new episodes, so go check that out. But thank y'all as always for watching. Until next time, I'll see you guys on the other side of the Upside Down.